Hey guys, I'm Kale the Space Cow, and this is going to be my first kind of solo video for the ProGamerSnobGuys channel. This is just my opinionated viewpoint on something. I'm actually going to see if I can't get Logan, my friend, who also has put a lot of stuff on this channel, to see if he can't, create some more stuff for this channel, because I think it's a lot of fun and I want to do some more of it. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about something that I've always found rather fascinating with the video game content creation. Basically, it's just my viewpoint on how I perceive a lot of creators as vultures descending upon new releases of video games. They pick it apart as quickly as possible for sustenance and then leave behind the bones and sinew to let it rot in the sun. Now, you're probably already crossing your arms at me saying, who the hell does this guy think he is saying these demeaning things? And honestly, I wouldn't hold that against you. It does sound pretty awful. However, my intention isn't to point fingers at any one single YouTuber or Twitch user, or even really state that anyone is in fact a vulture. I'm not doing this for the sake of being a big meanie buttface. What I'm merely saying is that the behavior of these creators en masse reminds me of a volt of vultures. So let's see, where do I even begin explaining this? Okay, so as of this writing, Doom 2016 came out about a week and a half ago. It's been met with mostly positive reviews, and of course, there's no shortage of Let's Plays on YouTube, and for about the first week of its release, it was in the top 12 most viewed games on Twitch. At one time on Twitch, it had about 30,000 people watching it. If you looked up Doom now on Twitch, it probably has barely 500 people watching it if you were to combine all the viewers across all the channels broadcasting it. So basically in the span of a week and a half, it went from having thousands of people watching it to just a few hundred. Now, I do understand that this game's popularity was going to be short-lived. You can only play the single-player campaign so much and have your viewers be interested in it, and the multiplayer portion of Doom isn't exactly esports material, so viewership with that is bound to decline. What I'm getting at, though, is that streamers and content creators jumped on this game at release. How could they not? It's a legendary franchise and it had a lot of high expectations surrounding it. It's perfect material for creators. And with that, so begins the slow, circular flight paths of the vulture, waiting for its prey to die in the hot sun, or in this case, a midnight release. And then, it happens. The vulture's prey collapses, the game is released. At this point, you now have literally thousands of people creating reviews, let's plays, and people streaming the game. It's a frenzy. The vultures are picking away at the meat, getting all the sustenance they can out of it, pecking the ribs, scraping out its abdomen, swallowing appendages. There's no time for chewing. There's even vultures fighting among themselves. After all, it's survival of the fittest. They have to get to that tasty, juicy meat before the others. You can just imagine them screeching at each other with their wings open. The bigger vultures push the smaller ones out of the way. The smaller ones peck at the bits that fall from the mouths of the bigger vultures. It's chaos. Eventually, though, the frenzy dies down. Viewers are starting to not care about this particular game anymore, and so, as is expected, viewership eventually goes down. This is when the corpse of the game has been picked clean. There's nothing left but cartilage, and it's just a dried out husk of what the game used to look like. But wait! What's that down there on the ground? Is it... Ah, it is. It's Overwatch. The next victim. Okay, so I'm not a very good actor, and I'm being a little melodramatic, but I think it paints a perfect picture of this content creation culture. This culture of racing to be the first one out there with a video, or at the very least an early bird, because getting these games while they're at the height of their popularity will likely help out with views. And if you're anyone that can snag an early copy or beta access with no NDA, that puts you way ahead of the game. Again, I know calling YouTubers vultures is basically really shitty and douchey, but I'm struggling to find a better analogy for this kind of content creation culture. Really though, they're actually blameless. They're just playing by YouTube's rules. I mean, come on, there's video games out there now that are even dubbed as YouTube fodder. I mean, these games don't sell that well, even when big name YouTubers play them, but it certainly does rack up the views. That's getting a little bit off track though. I'll summarize it this way. Can we truly call this content creation? I mean, honestly, the slogan content creation makes my skin crawl, but hey, that's the accepted term. Anyway, can we call this content creation when you've got a swarm of people all swooping in on the latest release and just pecking at it until it can't be pecked at anymore? All these YouTubers, elbowing each other at the dinner table, pushing and nudging, hoping at the very least to get a scrap. It's hard to say anymore, isn't it? I can't help but feel a little cynical when I see a new video posted from one of the channels I'm subbed to and think, was this video made for me, the fan? Or was it just made to sate the hunger of a channel in need of its next meal? This whole content creation thing, I feel anyway, is kind of a vague term, and I really want to tackle that topic with my friend Logan in a different video because, I mean, it totally could be its own video. I've actually talked a lot about it before, but just between me and him on Skype calls, and I feel like we've got a lot to say about it. Anyway, I just wanted to express my thoughts on how I imagine these YouTubers and Twitch streamers, how they treat video games. I know it's not intentional. Again, I know they're just having to play by these certain unspoken rules of making videos. But, then again, I'm just a cynical kind of asshole, so maybe I'm just overthinking it?